Okay, this is a short video of a varmint rifle which I purchased back in February of 2007, and this is the Rossi Model R223HB, and this is a .223 caliber rifle. It is a single shot break barrel. It is unloaded, and it is equipped with a very powerful 6 to 24 by 50 millimeter AO scope. And so far, like I said, I've never actually fired this before, and I purchased it with the intention of doing some varminting, but I never got around to doing so. As I said, I'm not much of a hunter, but I was willing to give it a shot, but things never really materialized as I had expected it to. Now, the barrel length on this is 23 inches, and this thing, it's relatively short. I don't have the exact measurement on there, but I think it's about 36 inches long, and this thing weighs about 8.5 pounds. So this is not, by any stretch of the imagination, a light rifle. Of course, since it does have the bull barrel, the heavy barrel, that should aid in accuracy. And according to the information that I was able to find on this, this is a button. Let me see if I can get that right. Button rifled barrel. So the button rifling is supposed to add to the accuracy of this. And as I said, this does fire .223 caliber, and I've never actually fired this, but I always thought that this was an interesting rifle. Okay, let me get a little closer so you can see some of the detail on it. Let me adjust this so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. And here is the brake release here. And you can see the extractor. So I'm not sure if it just extracts or if it will actually eject it out as well. I've never actually chambered around in this to see. And close that back up. And on this side, okay, you can see the safety here. It's in fire. Now, by pushing that in that direction, you go into safety. It has a Weaver styled scope mount. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get close enough to actually let you see through the scope. But at this distance, all you would get is blur anyway. So it's all walnut, the fore-end and the stock. And the stock has a very meaty butt pad on there, so that should aid in soaking up any recoil that this might have, as well as the heavy barrel. Besides, .223 caliber really shouldn't kick that much anyway, but I guess with the added padding in the butt pad, you'll probably experience even less. It'll make it at least a little more comfortable to shoot when you actually do fire. But as I said, this was just a short video to showcase one of my more interesting rifles, I guess. And this is a discontinued model. I'm not sure exactly what replaced it, or whether or not they even actually have replaced it. I do have another Rossi firearm, and I'm not that knowledgeable on everything that they have in the inventory or what replaced what. I think they do have a series of rifles called Wizard or something of that sort, which with a lot of interchangeable barrels. But as I said, I'm not a Rossi expert by any stretch of the imagination. So we'll just put that back. Put on my glasses. And I think that's about all the information that I have on this. I paid about $300 for this from Dick's Sporting Goods. And this was actually one of the last firearms that I purchased from Dick's. I just had a fairly bad experience with that. I wasn't pleased at all. I thought everything went well, but I don't know if any of you have actually purchased from Dick's. But what happened is I purchased it I made my selection at the gun counter, made sure to tell the guy to get me one from the back. He got one from the back, and at Dick's you have to go to the cash register for your background check or whatever it is that my state is. You know, you had to, they in order to buy a firearm, they do a background check on you, so you have to pay a little extra for that. So then you bring your receipt back to the gun counter before you can finish the transaction, at which point they will take it to the front counter again for you to pay for it. Well, between the time I went to pay for my background check and go back to the gun counter, the guy, for whatever reason, gave me the firearm that was the display model when I had specifically asked for a new model, a new rifle from the back. So for whatever reason, he decided to play switcheroo on me, gave me one that the stock was slightly marred. It's not really bad, but once you see it, you don't want to buy a firearm unless it's the absolute last one there that has any kind of, particularly if you're buying a new one, that has any kind of disfiguring marks or anything on it. You want it pristine. But for whatever reason, he decided to switch it out. I didn't double check it because I didn't think he would do that. And then I wound up with a firearm that was somewhat scarred and marred. And every time I look at it, my eyes go directly to that spot. So that was one of the reasons that kind of put me off from Dick's purchasing. And they don't take firearms back, so you're pretty much stuck with it. So I have to assume my complaints went unheeded or whatever, but I just was not a happy camper. I don't think it really has anything to do with Dick's. It's just that the guy who sold me this at Dick's was you can put that last word in there for yourself, but it sounds very much like the name of the store that I bought it from. But in any case, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. And hopefully one of these days I'll have a chance to actually take it out and fire it, put this scope through its paces. You can actually put a bipod on this using the front ring, the swivel for your sling swivel. But I haven't purchased one for that yet, and before I actually take this out and give it a test, perhaps that's what I'll do, or at least get a nice bench rest for it. I don't want to do this thing any injustices by trying to fire it offhand, so this is definitely something that needs to be braced or supported in order to get the maximum efficiency and accuracy from it. Alright, thanks for watching, and let me know what you think about my little Rossi with the heavy barrel. That's the Model R223HB. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.